a
100%.
marriage, basically.
And contracts.
Contracts.
Lots
Okay,
of
go over
damn
that.
contracts.
Go over that real quick then.
It's everything for you. In business, get an attorney, get everything buttoned up. There's so many different businesses out there that there's not necessarily a contract in place between you and your customer. But between me and Patrick, there's contracts in place. We started a business together. There's splits on the business. There's operation agreements. There's so many things that you got to have in place that protect you, one, and it protects them if you're in a partnership, but also if you're not and you're an individual that just started a business and you're going out there and you're providing a service and you want to lock somebody up on contract, man, make sure those things are great. Have good contracts with your employees, have good NDAs. Just spend the time. Don't just pull it offline and be like, this is a good contract. It's not. There's so many loopholes in law, which we have learned so many times over the years selling businesses. Get a damn attorney. Get somebody good that not only is going to take your money because they're an attorney, but that they're going to have they're going to have your back and they're going to put everything and think about everything to button you up.
I'm super curious because we all are in some form of partnership. I mean, you two both have one partners, I have two. But in my experience, most businesses I'm selling are single owner, the vast majority. I don't know if that's a generational thing or even the buyers approaching me. It's pretty rare that it's groups. It's almost all individuals, and I have no idea why.
I don't have an answer for that.
Yeah.
I see it too. I mean, we're obviously in the same business, but yeah, you get a lot of individuals and then occasionally you'll get a partnership.
I think it was just easier back then to grow a business by yourself,
Yeah.
to a degree.
You get a husband and wife team maybe,
Yeah,
but
but-
not, yeah.
Nowadays, like, we go into business, we immediately now think about a different landscape than they did. You got social media, marketing, videography. Like, how deep do you really want to go down these lines on your business, what you're creating? And a lot of them were created 20, 30 years ago, if I'm not wrong. So, I mean, like you said, 10 years ago, we weren't having this conversation. We were about social media. No. Even 10 years before that, it didn't exist. Facebook came on about 2008. So, I mean, it's these businesses. I just think it have been easier. And I think back then you had no one trusted each other mentality in business. There wasn't really a whole, hey, let's try to really cross the aisle per se and try to collaborate. And I think that millennials brought that into the work dynamics, especially in the last 10 plus years. A lot more collaboration is way more sought after by 30-year-olds, especially 20-year-olds now.
Oh, yeah. I wholeheartedly agree on that.
You think it's millennials that brought that in?
I do. I don't think I'm Gen X. I don't think we were cool with each other, but we weren't collab with each other. I mean, that's just how I feel. I mean, I'm 43 going 44. I feel like we were like, hey, we're cool, da-da-da-da-da. But collaboration was still a little bit of like, okay, maybe, where the millennials were a little bit more, I don't know, maybe there's maybe some more connectedness there. I just don't know. That's just my take on it.
Probably started from video games.
Maybe.
Yeah, we got to chat with each other, play Mario Kart, whatever. Business industries, which ones are you in love with, or specific types of businesses that you think, man, if I was going to go out and start one tomorrow, this is it?
Pause.
So what are industries that, if you could, you'd get into? Industries that you love or businesses that you love?
No, we didn't take a break there, audience.
Yeah.
I used to always want to be in a bar and restaurant, right? That's the cool, glitzy thing that everybody can do. Start a speakeasy or something back in Nashville, back when Nashville didn't have them.
We still don't. They're all lame.
I know. They're terrible. But, as I got into selling bars and restaurants, I learned real quick that I could probably make more money selling them than ever owning one or even multiple. I think anything in manufacturing's always attracted me, just because I like to see how things work and get put together. I think those industries are really cool. I like the blue collar kind of jobs. I'm a hands-on kind of person. I wouldn't be mad at a construction company, probably in the commercial sector. And not even a ground up commercial company. There's some out there that we've sold over the years that do the interior framing and the drywalling and those kind of things. And I think they're just great companies. Plus, every single one of those guys drives a big, cool truck. So
I hope my camera's on when I ask this question. Do you think that blue collar is one of the biggest industries that's going to be, that you should be looking to buy right now as we get, because of what the industries are going to be over the next 10, 20 years?
Yeah. I mean, your tech companies and all that kind of stuff, they're just, one, Nashville's not a market for that, and really a lot of the Southeast isn't, but other than Chattanooga and kind of the North Alabama. But yeah, the blue collar companies are typically the ones that are our bigger deals. They're the highest valued companies that we have. We've sold a handful of construction companies over the years, manufacturing. Those guys are out there getting their hands dirty, and they're always in the $1 million and up sale prices. I think those are very sexy businesses, and they're going to continue and always be there, even with the ups and downs and ebbs and flows of, markets and crashes and things like that. Building's always going to come back. Manufacturing has to be there. Anything with infrastructure or those kind of things, that's always going to be there. People are always going to want their lawn cut, or their house painted. Those kind of industries, they're not going anywhere.
I met Adam actually. So Adam and Patrick, one of them was repping a fence company.
Oh, that was Patrick.
Yeah, and I absolutely love that. That industry is so simple, so basic. It's not going to get replaced by AI. There's no technology that's going to take you out of that. Maybe design, maybe making it easier to bid, but not actually installing a damn fence.
That was a great company.
Yeah, I still love it. And my problem at that point was I wasn't ready mentally to pull the trigger.
Me and Pat almost pulled the trigger on that business.
You told me that later.
We were like, this is an attractive business. We could pull this off.
Yeah.
And literally the day we were about to sit down and put together an offer, we got a full price offer on it. And I was just like, oh, yeah, it's for the best. Let's continue to grow our business. And now they moved in behind our office. You see that?
I think that's a really good point you guys bring up. In a day and age where AI is eliminating things like I've never seen. Literally, it took out a videographer's position in my company.
They're coming out of business brokerage.
Okay, that's me like owning a gym. I'm like, well, thank gosh. I mean, there's going to be nothing that could take that away from me to a degree. What do you mean they're coming out of business brokerage? And I guess my next question is, how disruptive will AI be to businesses overall? Is this something that I, as a business owner, better start learning and getting prepared for, or whatnot?
I think AI, one, let's touch on business brokerage. There's a company out of Australia, and I don't know the name of it. Don't even care because they're not even on my radar yet. But I've heard that they're trying to get into matching the buyers to a perfect business through AI, and basically you go through and answer a bunch of
Sounds like dating. It sounds like it already going to fail.
What was it? Not Match.com with the one before that?
eHarmony?
Yeah, it's like eHarmony for businesses. It's all these things and how you match them. I don't think that's going to be scalable on the large market. And even if it is, there's so much that we do day in and day out, even with the real estate side of it and the business brokerage side of it. There's a lot of damn hand holding. There's a lot of negotiations. AI is not going to be able to take away the human aspect of selling a business and making those connections and going to business meetings and buyer-seller meetings and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not too worried about it in our industry. I'm sure there'll be some disruption. But there's a lot of great platforms out there that can help us write ads and do some marketing for us and stuff like that. So, I'm not open to utilizing it if it makes sense for our business. And then, the future of AI, it's a scary thing. Who knows? It's endless possibilities for so many different industries. But, I haven't really had it come up in any business deals yet. I don't think it's...
I think it's being hyped too much on the business side. I think where it's really hitting its phase is the content creation, like podcasting. Yeah. You're seeing it like in your medias, but I think you're still 10 to 20 years away before it really starts touching into businesses where there's actually like, oh, this is actually a section of my business on my P&L for AI or something like that.
Sure.
I've yet to see a business owner who mentions using AI to make them more efficient, which actually shows you there's a huge opportunity. If you want to gain efficiency, use the AI tools and you'll surpass 99% of your competition.
You just got to have initiative and you'll surpass 99% of your competition.
I even think like recording phone calls and having those transcribed, then you have those notes easily to go back to. Simple things like that would be amazing if you're, someone who's building content, trying to find things for social media, record all your customer calls. Pretty easy.
Or you bring on a broker like Jason that has a lot of really good ideas, and then he just tells you, and then he's like, why don't we do it this way? And I'm like, well, me and Pat have not ran our business that way for 10 years, but yeah, let's give it a go, you know?
Yeah, but I think that's what you do. I mean, like in business, if you want to stay agile, you know, if you read any of the books, especially Good to Great by Jim Collins, it's a whole display of the businesses that all died because the visionary stopped seeing the vision for the company. And that's usually when they get very insulated, very withdrawn, and don't have a pulse either on customer, staff, or both.
Yeah, 100%. You know, and that brings me all the way back to that topic we were talking about earlier of hiring the right people that match your company. You know, I mean, he's our top broker this year by a landslide.
I don't get that at all.
I don't either, because most people don't like talking to him on the phone.
I don't like talking on the phone. That's the funny part.
I can't see him talking on the phone
I'm
for
kidding,
shit.
but, you know, he has so many qualities that are great for this type of industry. And it's nice to have, you know, he started out looking at businesses and then all of a sudden he's like, well, hey, are you guys hiring? And I was like, well, yeah, let's have a conversation. I've had multiple conversations with him on the phone or through email and stuff like that on other businesses he was looking at back in the day. But, you know, hiring people that can give you some vision, you know, or do have good ideas, because for so long, it was just Pat and I, you know, and you're kind of stuck in your little way of the way you do things. And we had a big change this last year that he went through with us that, you know, made us shift and implement a lot more stuff. We've grown tremendously over the last few years, and it was time we start really stepping it up and keeping up with it. And it's made us more efficient as a firm, and definitely freed up a lot of our time from sending non-disclosures. So